Take a minute to read the minutes, and then we'll have a motion. Both you boys are voting tonight, how's that sit with you?
That's exciting.
Pretty important, that's all I can say, pretty darn important. A BPL. Oh, yeah.
It used to be in the cold.
That's on TV, you know. If we had
Thanks.
AC in here, we'd be golden. Oh, no. I gotta confine it to their office.
Here's an extra one. Put it in.
We're not gonna be here that long.
I'll have to blow it over, make sure I get back,
You did?
in case it goes past 9.
You got lights?
Of course.
Well, then you're golden.
Of course.
Hey, do they ever have a warden on that lake?
Once in a while. Not a lot.
Very
The
seldom.
amount of places that are on it, but there's not usually an issue because you don't have much of a public launch.
Right, that's true.
So that's what is the difference between that and Nelson.
Is there a motion on the minutes?
Can we talk about it first or how?
No, we make a motion, then we discuss it.
Make a motion then.
Two.
Approve the minutes.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Fine. Changes, corrections, questions?
Number 3. One,
Yes.
two, second sentence.
I was stuck on Mr. Cash's
The thinking?
words.
Yeah, the thinking.
That was his word.
Thinking was initially pursued that and not built what is permissible and may not what is sustainable. I just don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. I was looking at that one too.
I screwed it up somehow, but I don't know how. Tom's not here. Does anybody recall?
Well, he was talking about when he and Ken were working on the updates, so maybe Ken remembers.
What was the topic?
Maybe a little,
Let's start from the beginning. Mr. Cashin said back when he and Mr. Paul worked on the shoreline zoning, they discussed the proposal within the shoreline zoning allowed the town to prohibit 30% expansion in areas of steep slope. That probably should be slopes. The thinking was initially to pursue that and not build what is permissible, and that's, I don't know what I wrote, and may not what is sustainable. What could it be?
Originally, they had all the steep slopes around the lakes as resource protection,
right.
and that got reduced down to the state's language of greater than the 2 acres.
If the 20% or greater slope is in an area
I believe
of
it.
2 acres or more,
Yeah.
then it fell under, otherwise.
Yeah, but the big thing that came into play was developed and non-developed. And that's where, I forget the verbiage of one house every 500 feet or something like that, made it developed, so. And most of the shoreline we have is developed in town.
Right.
There's a couple lots that are non-developed that would meet that did go into resource protection, but everything else stayed out.
Well, part of this discussion that we had was about the special exception deal that you had pointed out to us,
Yeah.
or that somebody pointed out to you. So we're talking about that, and then Tom says, well, when we were going through the upgrades, you know, some people on the committee wanted to include the new stuff in the DEP, and they didn't because of, you know, whatever reasons. So, but exactly what Tom said 2 weeks ago, I don't know.
Go back to the video tape.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
I can go back to the tape if you'd like to postpone these till next time.
Well,
I think if you change the 3 words,
That's
and may not, to but, and it would read, the thinking was initially to pursue that and not build what is permissible.
I thought so too earlier.
Pursue that being the 30% expansion, but what is sustainable. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Close.
At least it runs.
Thank you.
what's permissible and what is sustainable?
Yeah, but what
Well,
is sustainable?
Not build what is permissible, but what is sustainable.
All right.
That's
Gotcha.
cool.
All right. Anything else? You guys are happy with the rest of it?
Mm-hmm.
All right then. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, nay? You're good. Today is what, 2? Okay, BPL, Kenny.
One for 167 Eagle Road, it's Elizabeth Maris. Currently, there's an existing camp down by the water, and they're hoping to move it back to the 50-foot setback on the road, which would allow the septic to go in behind it.
So this camp, they're gonna trash and rebuild?
Correct. I think currently it's, with the site plan, 27 feet from the water,
And they're gonna put it 50 back?
50 from the road back, which is gonna bring it,
Oh, okay. The road's still behind the house?
yeah,
All right.
there's a second site plan.
That's on the plans, it says where it's,
92.
oh, it'll be 92 for the water?
From the straight front of the camp, how it's measured now, the closest point's off over the side at 86. Currently, it's 27 now,
Yeah, you got it.
so he's gonna rebuild back here, this is the 100-foot line.
Oh, so he's only gonna deal with,
A little bit will be within the 100 feet, but this is the 50-foot setback from the road.
okay.
Where's the current septic, in between them, the proposed and the existing somewhere?
I think it's in the front yard,
To the lakeside?
just on the back. Yeah, because back then, I mean, the main interest was gravity, to make sure where it's pumping wasn't available. It is shown on the back side of it, right in the back side where that little notched area is.
Oh.
So how much bigger is the new one gonna be?
It's like a full 30%.
The only thing that's gonna apply to the 30% is what's within the 100 feet. There's a 100-foot marker that goes through that
Right.
house. The big restriction for this is gonna be the 20% lot coverage. They can only cover the lot with 20% of non-vegetated, so that's gonna be the restriction on this lot. The 30% really is not gonna apply to them, because they're getting most of it out of the 100-foot zone.
You said the septic's going on the back, other side of the road?
No,
No,
behind the
Yeah,
house.
see this one?
just behind the house.
That's complicated.
Are you behind that? So the property looks like it's really pretty level.
Yeah,
Relatively level.
yeah, for Eagle Road, they're all kind of level there.
Is this the one that's closer to the store? Where's Eagle Road?
Eagle off of Gavin,
Oh,
before you go down by the apple orchards. To the
gotcha.
left.
All right, all right, all right. Super.
Any issues in your mind?
What kind of condition is the existing camp in?
Average for a
Yeah.
camp, moss growing on the roof. It's a camp.
Yeah. So that's gonna be demo?
Yep, demo removed. Revegetated in that area there where the old camp is.
They're gonna be trees removed in the new site?
Yeah, there's some where the tree is and some where the septic is, but not a tremendous amount. The main thing is just replanting, establishing the vegetated buffer between the development and the lake itself.
Right, replanting where the camp is now.
That's one of the main goals, and the other is just reestablishing the points taken out also.
Yeah.
Geez, they already cover almost 14% of the lot coverage right now.
Existing,
Yeah.
yeah.
The proposal's only gonna be 18, so.
A lot of that too is the old driveway went down to the camp down by the water, so when they revegetate, that area
Yeah.
gets revegetated. The 20% works really good in the shoreline zone as far as keeping it 80% vegetated.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's a big way to save some building deck area is by getting rid of some kind of a driveway that you don't need.
Here in town, you don't, the decks don't come into that 20%, so you can add decks, correct?
20% is non-vegetated, that's anything that's not vegetated, that's driveways, buildings, patios, decks.
Decks, house, the whole shoot match.
So like pathways getting down to the dock.
If it's non-vegetated.
Yeah, if it's in the
If it's gravel, or if it's stone, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's just a dirt path or with
Right.
grass growing intermittently, it's probably safe.
It's the same as a driveway, if you've got just two paths down with the grass in the middle, the two paths you take out with the grass you can count. And that 20% is for all of the town, it's just not the shoreline.
Right. Where's the septic design? Oh, stinks.
These are the people that were trying to get in last time, right at the end?
No.
No, we haven't even run into them yet?
No. Not yet.
We're just so gung ho.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, wow.
Mhm.
Must have went to some snags somewhere. or something.
Oh, they're getting a new well too, huh?
Yeah.
Or is that a new?
That is behind the camp, which a lot of times that's what the older camps did unless they drank it out of the lake. Now, obviously, the theory is get the septic as far away from the lake, which means you have to get the well as close to the lake as possible. So usually, if there's room to get around the camp, they may leave the camp up until the end and rip it down last, or rip the camp down, establishing a way to get the truck down by the lake, drill the well at the lake, and put the septic up by the road as close as possible. Which makes it tougher for the backlot people.
What do you mean the backlot people? There's people on the other street that use it right away, that's...
Well, the people that would live behind this across the street, now they've got the septic as far away from the lake as possible, so the backlot people would have to have their septic either behind their house, well, I guess in front of their house, and the well behind it, mirror image of what
So
the
they're gonna
front.
keep, any new wells have to be further away from that,
So
so.
it's just.
So that across the street, there's nothing there. It's just that potentially down the road, if
Correct.
somebody went, gotcha.
Any other questions, Lance?
Looks like there's a garage or boathouse or something put on the property in the background.
I think that's the neighbors.
Neighbors, yeah, I didn't see it on the other. Yeah.
So, what do you guys wanna do? You wanna take a guy's recommendation, you wanna go out there and take a look sometime? What's what?
I guess I agree, you think it's good? You agree?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like, I don't know what more we would do with that.
I mean, it's pretty flat land, so we're not dealing with any nasty slopes. They're moving it back appreciably.
Absolutely.
All the way back to the road setback.
All right,
Yep. You can't ask for a whole lot more than that. I mean, I'll move that we go forward with the best possible location.
using Ken's recommendation, which is whatever they proposed, which is Ken's recommendation, correct?
Correct.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right then, any further discussion? Comments? Anything? They are gonna revegetate in front.
Correct.
Is it worth going through, do you notify them about York Soil and Water, or is this something that,
This one here, really where it's a flat area and they're just revegetating, in our ordinance it calls revegetating grasses, so they can actually plant a lawn in there and still meet the ordinance, but they're looking at a vegetated buffer, where they want to get some shrubs and plants and
Right,
things like
right.
that, so.
okay. All right, so they already have a plan,
Yeah.
an idea, okay. And you'll be on top of that, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely. Okay then, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay? It's a done deal. What else we got? Well, there's only three of us here. Did you guys all get a chance to read the special exceptions? Now, granted, there were 2 pages going out. The second page gave us paragraph 4 and 5. That's what we have on this first page.
Yeah, I think it said as per 16D.
Well, they both say that. They're both the same thing, except on this page, the one that has the Department of Environmental Protection on top, it stops at the end of paragraph 3B. This other page gives us 4 and 5. It's just about the flood zone board,
Yeah.
So I don't know if, unless you guys have something really jumping out at you that you wanted to get into the public record, or you wanna wait until we have more of a crowd here.
I mean, let's do that, let's wait, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean,
Yeah, it'd be more of a discussion,
Yeah.
more people.
Well, we could certainly do it then too, but if,
and you say you have one kind of out there that could come before you sometime soon?
Correct.
but these had to be lots of record before they were brought in their RP.
Correct.
So,
And there would be lots of record without any dwelling unit on it at all.
right,
So it'd come through you as a conditional use to put one on, and they would have to have no reasonable alternative. So if they can build out of the RP on the zone, then.
see, I'm thinking these would have to be few and far between
Yep.
to begin with.
Yep. But it would alleviate, if you go into the zoning board and they look at the state law very thoroughly, it's almost impossible to get a variance out of Board of Appeals in Maine. It should be anyways. Because if you have a reasonable use of your property, and the state was looking at that a few years ago, as if you could set a picnic table up and picnic,
I know.
you have a reasonable use of your property.
I know.
So where the property is going into resource protection, now you can't build it all on them, but if they had no alternative, they could come through the planning board as a conditional use, and you could then establish conditions on it that would make it environmentally safe to
Yeah.
build a
Well,
reasonable dwelling.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I think that, I can't imagine there's hardly any lots that have been undeveloped that are of record before they were brought into RP. I mean, how much RP have we added?
Just the
since-
last time,
Yeah, how much?
acreage-wise, I guess at 75 to 100 acres anyways. The one particular lot that has currently brought this up, I think they've got almost 1,000 feet on Grady's Lake.
Oh, yeah, all right.
I
Well,
mean, it's just steep slopes that put it in, they've got a plateau on the top that is a reasonable place to build, but I think it's one of the largest.
does it have 2 acres worth of steep slopes or
I
no?
believe so.
Oh, well, then it would,
So it's an RP,
right.
and there's a flat.
Yeah, but doesn't
plateau
that
at the
exempt
top.
it as well? You can't build over a 20% slope, no?
The area of a building lot at the top is flat,
Right.
but it's all RP because it's how the maps are laid out.
All right, I got you.
So that's where it would be case specific that a board could look at and say, you've
How-
got room to build out here.
How big was this lot though?
Couple, 3 acres.
Oh, that's all, okay, so it wasn't like any big massive 40-acre parcel or something that doesn't count as a lot?
No, it's like a
It's a
peninsula.
peninsula.
Oh, yeah.
I think guessing it's 600 to 1,000 feet of frontage on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so much a foot assessment wise.
All right. Anyway, it wouldn't happen until next,
Obviously, yeah.
Spring anyhow.
Yeah, and that would just be if the board wants to go in that direction.
all right, well, that would make it an interesting public hearing anyway.
What's on either side?
Water. And then a road.
Because it's a
It's a
peninsula.
peninsula,
Yeah.
like the state of Florida.
Oh. So, I mean, the issue wouldn't come down to have anything to do with people who are butters or anything like that, then?
No.
Oh,
In this particular lot.
Yeah, sometimes on peninsulas, you do have, butters going down the line,
Yeah.
but,
But I mean, the change or the special exception would not address anybody trying to, that already has a piece in RP with a house on it, and they're trying to do a garage, and they're trying to do this or that. It's just somebody that has a lot that was there before, RP's come in on top of it, and now they can't build a house. And I think
and it's
that
been
gives-
undeveloped.
Correct. And I think the verbiage even specs how large the house can be. It's not a
1,500?
1,500 square feet, I thought.
Looks like number 4.
The principal and accessory structures is limited to a maximum of 1,500 square feet. So that's the ground floor area though. So ground floor area, principal and accessory structures, which would be decks and whatnot, 1,500 square feet. So if they're saying total, pardon me?
They could go up.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If they're talking total ground floor area is 1,500, then why couldn't they have a second floor?
That, and those are just the guidelines from the DEP, so that would be a bare minimum that you could allow if the board was thinking of it, and you could say total floor area of the whole place.
Yeah.
The 1,500 is that number comes in, it's an alternative to the 30%. So you can get rid of the 30% calculations, and the state will allow you to go maximum 1,500 square feet of floor area total.
Oh, total floor area, not
Yeah.
ground floor.
Yeah, and I thought that's how it is. I mean, I haven't looked at the exception in a long time. That was just for the afternoon, not 30%.
Oh, 30%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the 30% rule is floor area, floor or volume.
Volume, yeah, so the,
It doesn't go with ground,
no,
because that's been the whole deal. These guys can go up if they can't, they can use the volume if they don't have the square footage for some reason. I don't know. Don't move that camera, please. I like it right where it's at. Yeah. Anything else? No? You guys got anything? How about the esteemed ex-chief, anything? All right then, good night, Cable Land, we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
2 weeks.
I wanna